Welcome back to the last podcast of this semester with your hosts, Gavin and Memphis.
So, of course, as we typically do, we're going to be starting off with the campaign, but...
For Infinite Warfare.
For Infinite Warfare, which had released in 2016. Now, of course, this was after Black Ops 3, after the next-gen jump, where we got to see a lot of the newer features.
And the more movement, which was another big thing.
It was a big thing, the jetpack movement and such. Now, of course, starting off with our typical campaign, I had played the campaign not as much as Gavin here, but I remember starting off in that first mission, you're in this, frozen planet, going through it, taking down enemies and stuff, and then you have to shoot this, giant beam and hope the entire place doesn't blow up. And right at the end, your whole team is shot in the head by the, main antagonist of the game. And then just as you're going through... Oh, telling us out there. The person you play as in the first mission, he also gets shot in the head during that. And then we get over to Lieutenant Nick Reyes in the coming missions, to where I believe you are on Earth, it gets attacked, you have to fight off a bunch of enemies. I could be wrong on the sequence of order here, I do not know the story that well. You go up into space after that mission, and you get to see around your spaceship and such, do a whole assault on another ship. It's pretty much like Star Wars but Call of Duty in a nutshell. So Star Wars with regular guns and stuff. And in this game it introduces energy weapons, a bit different than your ballistic weapons. With the energy weapons, when you're holding them, your mag will slowly reload on its own without you needing to reload it.
It doesn't have shoot for so long and it'll have...
It doesn't really do that. It's just basic mags. The only difference is just one slowly reloads. And of course, you have your two enemy types like we did over in Black Ops 3. You had your robots and your regular human.
You get your arms off in this one too?
No, not in this one. Not in this one, luckily. You almost suffocate in space, though.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah, that's in a different mission. So, also... Yeah, when you're going throughout it and stuff, there's a lot of space warfare where you're fighting this jet in space. It's fairly fun, those missions, attacking enemy ships, and then...
I mean, most Call of Duty vehicle missions are the funnest missions. I remember in World at War, the tank driving missions, the main one I remember because it was so fun.
So that's something that it's a bit of hit or miss when it comes on to Call of Duty games, because sometimes they can really do it really well, and then other times it's just not so well. But, yeah, going back to it, you get on your ship, you get introduced to all the crew and stuff, and you get to see this, bounty board. And this bounty board has a bunch of high-value targets and stuff. Now, you don't really get anything, I believe, for taking them down, but it's all about the satisfaction of finally wiping out that entire board. So
it gives you a little something extra to do.
Yeah. Which, of course, there's all these side missions. So you have your main missions and your side missions. So your side missions, you can go on planets. You do, say, air assaults, or you go on the ground, stealth missions and stuff. You got all these other missions. Then your main mission, which has, a percentage chance of success. Now, I've always done the side missions beforehand, so I do not know what it'd be like to, say, have that really low. But... yeah, just doing those side missions and stuff, I always thought were pretty fun. And then before you go on each mission, you can actually make a loadout. So similar to Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, they stuck with that, making your own loadout for each mission.
Or most of them have the suggested loadout for the mission too, right? You should use this gun, but you can change whatever you want.
Yeah, that was the nice part about it, which throughout the missions you would unlock more attachments. You could even, with your loadout, unlock paints for your aircraft and such. And then there was also your gun on the aircraft, say a cannon or something like that. You could actually upgrade it. You would feel more powerful as you went throughout the game. Which it was always a nice feeling, They don't just hand you the weakest thing immediately, but they hand you something that you can survive with. And you just go through the campaign missions. And so I don't know the story too well about this one. I just know a lot of the side missions and stuff. It's a lot of infiltration, taking out those targets, which, of course, you have your robot buddy, Ethan, throughout it all, which... at the end of one of the main missions, you actually get, ejected out into space with Ethan. And pretty much almost suffocate. I can't remember if that's actually the ending or just one of the missions, but I remember he ends up saving you during one of the missions. That might be the final one. I'm not entirely sure on that. But you go throughout the missions. Of course, you have another companion that's along with you too, other than Ethan. You're just fighting against this enemy, like, group of sorts. And then eventually, last mission, everything just goes to crap in that mission. Like, most of your team dies, the supplies are low, you're just fighting through it.
And most Call of Duties do like you're always winning and a whole lot of bad happens. This one it's like people die. It's like
That's a little sad because it's like these characters you got to grow along with and such, you just see them bleeding out. Like one of them, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he tells you look up at the stars. He doesn't want you to see him die. And it's like just earlier on in that mission, he was talking all about stuff, was all happy, and then just see him on that ground bleeding out with a bullet in him. It's just saddening seeing all that. It's like we grow these bonds throughout the campaigns with these characters and then see them pass. It's a bit saddening, but it, in a way, represents how life is. We all grow close to the people around us, and then we hate to see them pass away, but eventually it will all happen.
sadly, yeah.
But we all gotta try to enjoy the time we got with people. But yeah, of course, this is getting a little depressing, but that is the nature of Call of Duty. It hits hard, it's a tough story, which it is sad. A lot of the newer Call of Duties, they do not replicate that anywhere near as well, in my opinion.
What's also wild is the newer Call of Duties, most of them don't like do split screen, which is like a big reason why I don't play a bunch of newer ones because it's all single player. Because every single Call of Duty is fun with friends, and
Yeah, I said, as something we say every episode, every game is more fun with friends. You could take some of the trashiest games
like Boyfriend Dungeon,
and just be laughing around with friends, goofing around in the game. But when it's just you by yourself, you want to actually have a good gaming experience, which I would say Infinite Warfare gives. It's a fairly solid game, as I said. I love the campaign personally.
the way you describe the campaign, it sounds really fun.
Yeah, going through it and all, because the side missions are optional and stuff, it's just a really fun one. Yeah, I got no other thoughts when it comes down to the campaign, though, so I'm going to hand it over to Gavin when it comes down to multiplayer.
The multiplayer, it's not as boots to the ground as 2 and its predecessors, but because it got the air jump like 3 and Advanced Warfare did.
Yeah, the advanced movement and such, and the operators this time, it's instead like everybody, it's not these like select people that you're choosing from. You have like your engineer, your just infantryman, sniper, I forget what their entire names are, but each one of them has their own different thing. Like one of them is just straight up playing as a robot, and you are like running around. Each one has like 2 specialist abilities that recharge. Like I remember the robot ability is to where you like get on all fours and just start charging at people.
That's really scary. You run around and you turn a corner.
And that's what Infected's like. When I play custom games on there just by myself. And it's like, yeah, I think that ability is called Reaper or something like that. I think that's what it is. But I had a decent amount of time on the multiplayer itself.
It was fun. I played it with one of my friends. So.
Yeah. Which also something I liked is supply crates in this game too. You could earn your keys and stuff through playing. It's the same thing that I liked about Black Ops 3.
And Black Ops War 2 did it too.
Yeah, you could actually earn the stuff through playing. It wasn't just, hey, go spend 5, 10, 20, 30 bucks on something. No, you could actually earn to playing the game and having fun and getting all this extra stuff while doing it, It was just part of the game. Now, do you have anything else to say about the multiplayer?
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. It was a fun multiplayer. So I'm more of a hardcore player, too. I'm not exactly the best at Infinite Warfare, but I thought it was a fun game.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we head over. Now, there is other maps on zombies, but me and Gavin seem to know Zombies in Spaceland the best.
Zombies in Spaceland.
So, Gavin, what is your thoughts when it comes down to Zombies in Spaceland for Infinite Warfare?
I think it was nice to have kind of the goofy-looking zombie map. It was like a little slapstick,
Yeah, it was this like artistic, abstract style and stuff. You're in this, amusement park going throughout it and all. I liked how it kept which, of course, still I don't entirely like it, but it still works that you could level up your guns and stuff and put attachments on them.
When you died, weren't you able to play like games to like come back?
Yeah, you would get like one time to where you'd be in this like arcade afterlife, which it was always fairly fun. And the dog runs instead on this map were replaced with running exploding clowns.
The clown rounds, yeah. Those
Yeah, I remember those running around with a shotgun. It's like, oh no, I'm hearing them. You know, the doors were a bit weird. Like some of them, you had to like reach a certain threshold, and the more players, the more that doors costed. I wasn't the biggest fan of that, but it still worked. You know, it wasn't the best thing. But yeah. And there was also the boss mode, which was like fighting a bunch of aliens and stuff. It was just wacky zombies, which you could still enjoy, especially.
It was super fun. I played it with a bunch of my friends. We played the mess out of those zombies.
Yeah, like especially after like Black Ops 3 zombies and stuff, which of course had excellent zombies. It was a bit of a change, you know, a bit more goofier style. You know, he had fun with it. You could just mess around and have fun in zombies, running while clowns were exploding and chasing after you.
The exploding space clowns, Space Hunt or whatever.
Yeah. Well, got any more thoughts when it comes down to zombies?
I have none. Yeah. That'll probably wrap this episode up. We'll be making more episodes after our Christmas break, so that'll be around January 10th.
Well, we hope you all enjoy your Christmas break.